In the short term, you could see some rotation between the two.
You are a bit more selective now, I think, on your notes when it comes to semiconductor. Is that a valuation call, or are you worried that the AI enthusiasm has run ahead of fundamentals?
On valuation calls, because the earnings are growing. I mean, when you look at semiconductors for this year in S&P, they're expected to, EPS growth is expected to be over 100%. And again, not surprise to the upside. I think it's more that they've had a very strong rally. So tactically, we've taken some of it off the table, but we're still overweight in our portfolios to semiconductors. We think that the spending has led. And what we've heard from, some of the Asian suppliers, there's visibility out for a couple of years. And so that just gives you some comfort in the ability for the earnings to continue to grow, into 2027. I think the question mark comes more around 2028 and what happens to CapEx. We expect CapEx to grow 7%, 70% this year, next year, probably 25, 30% or so. But then what happens in 2028? Do you see a pause? And we need that monetization to come through to continue to encourage spending.
Nadia, it's such a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for joining. That's UBS Global Wealth's Nadia Lovell. Let's get a check on your equity markets about 10 minutes into your trading day. And again, it was an update yesterday, turns into a downturn today, but are we just trending longer ahead of the earnings we'll get after the bell, which include Alphabet and Tesla? The biggest gainer so far in this morning's session, Philip Morris reporting earnings. They actually trimmed their outlook because of the currency hit and things like the war in Iran. But within that, they say the consumer is really resilient. We're really positive on our Zyn products since the FDA says we can market that as healthier than cigarettes. Thus, you get a rally of nearly 5%. Dell is doing well. HPE is also rallying. I'm trying to see if I see it on this board. I don't. Supermicro reported earnings. They are AI servers. Prelim earnings, I should say, and Dell rallying in sympathy. AT&T, also very strong earnings. So earnings helping the top pile at the moment. To the downside, you have Microsoft. That's down 1.3%. So a lot of the hyperscalers having a bad day today. Amazon, Meta, that falling. GE Vernova also reporting earnings, which disappointed. So you can see those shares sinking 6.6%. Let's get a look at your sectors this morning on your GRR screen. Only 3 are declining, but that just shows you how important tech is in this index. To the point that Isabel was asking, if the Mag 7 disappoints, can everything else hold us up today? The answer is no. Infotech falling 0.7%. Materials, energies, utilities, those doing well. Energy specifically doing well. And there continues to be disruptions, not just in the Strait of Hormuz, but the Red Sea as well, that set the price of oil higher. Isabel.
Danny, that's such a great point. You have options market signaling hyperscaler earnings matter more than the Fed, and it really is a signal of just how important this week is. Coming up, a trio of big tech earnings as we just talked about. After the bell today, we take a closer look next. This is Bloomberg Open Interest.
Who know well-prepared workdays land right on time. There's Granger for the ones who get it done.
Librela has helped Norman get back to his old self.
Librela is used to control pain in dogs with osteoarthritis. Adverse events may include ataxia, anorexia, and lethargy. Do not use in breeding, pregnant, or lactating dogs. Take extreme care to avoid self-injection.
NASDAQ made like a flat bottom at 9:30. Oh, right, and also one thing to note is like, yeah, we were gapping down, so we're probably going to fill the gap from yesterday. I think that actually is probably easier to look for targets than like previous day high. Okay, let's mark out the gap fill in both of them. Closed here. Oh, default means. I use all of these. Wow, that's nice. Close here, yeah. Okay. NASDAQ really, like, this is what's interesting to me actually. I think that the open and the close are the same. Did it wick at all? What's the low? 90, and the open is 50. So it did wick 2 ticks. There's a tiny wick there, yeah. Okay. Alright, don't enter trade unless someone gets effed over. Well, the people at the lows did. So now we're at buy side liquidity. We're holding high above it. I want to see if we. Honestly, it would be awesome if one of them retraced to like below 930, but it seems pretty strong so far. I don't know if we'll get an entry for loss, we'll see. Yes, 1, 2, 3, don't let me, you and me. Not easy to leave recently, and you guys agree. Asked yesterday, like 70% of people said that, yeah, this market's, the price action's tough. No use with 1030. Okay. We have 1030 just crude oil inventories, and that doesn't really affect market. Heat map quite red, really. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Nasdaq's flat today, you know? Oh, it's actually down 0.4%. So you got heat map or ES. Why is it stronger? Honestly, ES also looks more. Dell's up 8%. What happened with Dell?
They have earnings?
No. Yeah. What is this? Dividends. But did they have latest updates? MCI strong margin outlook lifts server peers. Okay, so SMCI is like up 20%. It's the whole thing down. But it's like such a much bigger market cap, so. Alright. Wow. Michael Dell. If you have children, you should definitely take advantage of those Trump accounts and like the extra money from Michael Dell. It's free money. For your kid. Someone said WF and Trump tweet. What happened? What do you mean? He didn't tweet today, did he? Did he? No. And 36 minutes ago, he did say that warned that any attack on Iran by Iran on ships in the Strait of Hormuz would trigger U.S. strikes on Iranian infrastructure, including bridges and power plants near Tehran. All right. That was 36 minutes ago. That's like 9:12. Chris, you're waiting for short. Okay. 35% of people are bearish. It's pretty. No, it's actually split more towards the bullish side. 50% of people are bullish. I gotta go with probably gap fill. Yes, gonna have a gap fill. I don't see why Nasdaq would catch up. Well, I guess because it's the meta. Gap fill fill, and it could also hit previous down, I guess. We'll see. If we actually retrace with the low 930 open, kind of wild. Oh, I want to mark out the daily open. Oh, it is up there. Okay. It's pretty much near where the gap fill is. Okay. I don't have to do that. This is a bullish breaker on the 15. It is in premium. And honestly, this is not a market where I want to be buying in premium. So if it retraces to here, I'm not just going to buy straight up into it. I'd rather wait and see if we get lower PES. Let me think. We need to think more. I don't know. I'm just not chasing. I don't care. Whatever he just wants to do, could do. So far, 2 minute remaining very bullish, bouncing on OB and midnight open. See if it holds above it. I'm not really interested in buying that premium. Seeing too many times, like some random tweet just whips down into here, you know? It goes up here, it's fine. That was pretty big. That was very volatile. It was like the first 5 seconds of this candle went like 15-second candle. Looked like it was like the open. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning. Thank you. Buenos dias. Or bon dia. Saikan at 6'5", 6'7", 4 needs to like chill out, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about. What daily FEG is in a bearish one. Do you have a code of MFFU? Yeah, use code Tanya. What's the gap fill show? It's RTH gap. So I'll actually pull up. I'll just have this open right now. So where we closed at like 4:15. I don't think you guys realize how difficult it is to dream and take trades on stream. Okay. Trade your own money, seriously. Trade your own accounts. Don't be a backseat driver. It's mad annoying. Start your own YouTube channel. Deadass, I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
You know, like when I started live streaming, there's maybe like 2 other live streamers, 3. And now there's like 20. I never cared. My audience never went lower either. Because I'm not worried. There's only one time. But anyway, yeah, if you want to be a backseat driver, go start your own channel. Okay. It did nicely bounce on this OB. And then we went towards the gap fill. Like I said, I don't want to take a trade at the open, I'll just monitor it for future reference. See, I'm on 2 minute for NASDAQ. Same kind of vibe. Yeah.
The market is super bullish, making me even more bearish.
He has hit the gap fill. NASDAQ had the same kind of thing here. Pretty good. That's nice. Good luck. Good luck to the bulls still holding. Good job. Pat yourself on the back. Definitely on probably take commercial. Yes, you took the gap fill. It's about to take like these equal highs as well. Yep. Whenever there's a candle that makes you think like, wow, then that's when you need to take like a partial, honestly. Chat buys undefeated? No, chat buys definitely been wrong before. But if you only have one contract, probably just take it off. Or really just trail tight. That's what I would do. Now my name is Finnish, that's interesting. Croatian. Thank you, chat. So nice. So sweet. Aw. Jess, so nice to me. is my net open? I guess I had RTH hours. So I guess that was really the clue, that little nice bounce on OP and FEG and midnight open. If you took that, good job. Like, you have balls. You're very brave. That ain't easy. Definitely pay yourself. Don't like let it retrace so much on you. Wow. Oh, Fluffy Brother asked me about my open times, right? I'm working on one with Ninja Trader. Is that what you're asking me? Is that the same person? I don't know what SC means. So I'm asking, ICT becoming popular, retail traders using order blocks, FPGs just becoming liquidous, money hot. How do you know you're not the target? And you're not going to be the target if you wait for liquidity to sweep, you know? A lot of people don't even know how order blocks work, please. You guys are overestimating. Like, there's so many more retail traders out there. I think, like, a lot of people are in their own little, like, bubble, so they only see, like, ICT stuff, but there's so many others. Anyway, Fluffy Butt Brothers, explain what you would like. Hi, Russia. Where else are you guys watching from? Tanya, you looking for retracement or reversal? Right now, it's Tanya open, so let's just see what happens.
It's 10 o'clock. This is my kill zone. Let's see if we get that shift. We bearish today. Looking for a short.
What's OTE of this? Okay. Probably look for retracement. Deep retracement vibe. Yes, just going. You go, girl. Yes, it's pretty stay high then. You know, there's not much I can do there.
Ooh, you stay high. Just get crushed. You stay high. Just get crushed. This bull market is raging. Wow, look at this go. This is sick.
Please stay high. Hit on ES. Okay. So far, let's see how much we moved today. We moved 51 points. If we get to this volume balance, it would be 68 points, which is still within the ATR. Which is pretty crazy. Okay. Oh, it's just been straight up 5-minute candles. Damn. Export my settings from the administrator so you can import the workspace into your own. Okay, so you want it like as a file. Okay. Write that down. That's what.
Now you're getting the fair value gap right here, the downside. This is a really big candle. This might be our entry formula. There you go. The fair value gap is
Alright,
crossed.
put that.
If this fair value gap holds, we're entering our trade.
Okay, cool.
We just want to see the market structure shift. Not too far from there.
So what do we do, chat? What do I do? Do
So
I
the
short
market
hold?
structure shift.
Anything.
If the structure does not shift,
Yeah.
there's no trade. There you go. It's been ripped and we going short.
We have the gap fill. We did do gap fill on ES. We still could go up higher. I think in the future we are going for these lows though. But this is wow.
Order submitted.
SSL. So yes, swap that previous day high. Previous day high is here. Yeah, I'd rather just wait for a short at this point. I'm not gonna join longs. Waiting for a short. Okay. That's what I'll do. I mean, the 10 AM open could definitely retrace a bunch. The 10 AM candle an hourly. So, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna monitor where, like, structure would break. Because, you know, there's still OT here. Let me see. But you have an SMT at previous day high. So like this would be risky, but it's still below 10 AM open. I mean, why not try something risky? We're gonna find out and see if This goes without mercy. Okay, previous day high hit on both of them. I guess I'll just wait for a change in state of delivery. So if we get below this, it's already too late for me to do the riskier. It's too late. Dropped already. And I already probably dropped it to 50% here. Yeah, just dropped it to 50% retracement, so there could be people buying that. Well, I'll monitor to see if the bearish structure holds, so as we react to this, just blows through this, it's gonna go for the gap fill actually. What time is it? It's 10:11. Okay. Let's see. Bearish PG. Alright, let's down 2 minute yes. The 1 minute looks really sparse. Yeah. NASDAQ. Yeah, it's past that bearish guy, so definitely not shorting that. But along towards the gap fill, what does that look like? No. Yes, looking weaker. Maybe I would just rather, yeah. I would rather wait for change of state delivery if I want to short. So I'd wait for a close below like 173s. And then I would target like below 930 open. Yeah. Yeah, because if I short here, it doesn't need to get back below here. Like I don't know what I'd be targeting. Or between, bullish. Or bullish PD right on the 2 minute here. So I'll stay on the 2 minute. I like it. I actually like how the 2 minute looks here. There's no. Yeah, there's still a FEG here on the 2 minute and it'll be here. So when we mark out like what the OT is of this leg, watch out for that. This is 618. And OB. If we bounce like nicely there, then maybe I'll join the loss, because I could see people getting screwed over from putting stops within this like flag or whatever. That's what I would do, I think. Yeah. Stay on the 2. Pretty big drop right there. So if we end up going back above that, then I'd go over more, but like this could return bearish. But definitely think that's like a safe high. But yeah, so far it's bounced a little bit, didn't perk back up yet. Let me delete this. Okay. Bounce on midnight open. So if it's going to turn bullish, it should do it here. If we have more bearish, I'm ready to flip bearish if it starts scaling more, making more swing lows, but it's holding up so far. ES could retrace more deeply, you know. The moment of truth here. So let me see what that would look like. I feel like around 8 or so. I'm gonna try that. Based on 30-second version, I might be early. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna try it. I feel like enough people got screwed over and was pushed down. I might stop below like midnight open and the last swing low essentially. Very interesting. Still alive. Let's see a break like above this swing high, and I should start pushing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, good. I can move my stop now. A little slow. Here we are, we're pushing. Good looks, good looks. See if we can push back to 10 open. Whew. Risky but worth it. That actually wasn't too bad. Like, it was a really good stop. Right? I like that. Oh. Make sure I have that on screen for you guys. There we go. That was really nice. Great little drawdown. I had 8 contracts. I just trimmed like a couple of them because that's really nice swing high there that we're going against, and we could retrace if we want to. But let's see, we have a bunch of stacked highs I think that we could get to. 5 day here. Gap fill is 305.50. Worked out very quickly in favor, so that's really nice to see. W in the chat, hit type 1 if you're still in longs or if you took long today. No matter what the W. You need to start pushing here, past this guy here. Stall a little bit. Now it's like digging into like this bullish breaker number 1 or 2, whatever it is, number 2. Could retrace, like I said, that's why I took partials. Yes, wake up, bro. I could actually go down. Never tapped its OB, to be honest. See if you want ES to bounce there. Crazy market, really deep retracement. Man, if I get stopped out, it's breaking, but damn. Okay, break even trade. Fuck. I can't believe that. Alright, fair enough. That's why we take partials. Damn, son. Alright, let's just wait to see if it turns into a CSD then. Change the state of delivery for ES. And NASDAQ. See NASDAQ. Bruh. What a crazy day. So that's why partials pay, okay? Keeps you safe. US is on the way to an agricultural surplus. I don't see any news or anything for that. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see ES if we break back below minute open in the NASDAQ. I'll flip bearish if it makes more like displacements. Pretty wild. That's how fast things change in this market. It's crazy. I will was seeing this was ES needed to push past here. We did not do that, unfortunately. Okay. NASDAQ definitely not breaking this last swing low yet. See, likely does. See, I get really confused if it doesn't, but I want to see like I would like to see it push lower from here. I didn't flip yet. Like I would like a changing state delivery first, or like a better break the swing up. We didn't get that on NASDAQ. Or ES, yeah, we didn't get the change of state delivery yet. It gets back below midnight. Would. Like, basically the change of state delivery that shows people asking. This is a series of green candles that took a previous day high. Coming back and closing below that series of green candles would be that. That's crazy, I guess. Yeah, it's just dead. When NASDAQ goes here. I'm just gonna wait. Don't want to rush into anything. I regret it. It's like super easy to be tempted. Damn, son. How quick did things change? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 PQs changed. Got violated here. And yes, did change. I think I'm probably gonna have to take some shorts soon. I just keep looking at the 15 and like that's what's determining if I'm taking shorts too early. Kind of like. Then this 15-minute. This is like a breaker. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, it's tough, it's tough. Alright. Pretty funny for team chat. I think I'll try and short now that I took that little high out. NASDAQ. And we're looking there. Let's see. Man, if this starts squeezing up, I'll suck, but let's see. So retracement to 50% of this leg, that's essentially why I decided to go short. And I mean, ES is starting to drop lower. I could see ES and thus drop lower, like here. We drop below midnight open. We have those SMTs at the highs. I don't want to stay too bullish. We're staying below midnight, 10 a.m. open. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. If we squeeze me out of this, then I deserve it for going a little bit too early. We'll see. Yeah, that's lovely. I'm gonna keep my stop. Keep my stop, and then let's see if we get lower. Alright, we wait that area at least on the 2 minute. So maybe we drop from there, and then if we break the midnight open, that'll be good. Where's my midnight open right now? Oh, because I put on RTH. I don't know, I was anticipating that we were gonna break this. Alright, I'm back at break even, chat. We'll see if it's luck or skill. Break this. I'll literally add to my position if we do that.
Never get tagged in. Bummer.
That's me, literally, I want to add there, not not partial, but add. I just see a bunch of like sell stops here, but which honestly could just swipe it and go up higher. So I don't know. Maybe I should wait for a displacement. Wait for a displacement. Okay, I'm still alive. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, still breaking lower. Alright, what was I doing there? I was like, this retracement, you know, if it gets back. It did wick the 50%. Went all the way into OTE. Don't want it to go back up there again. So I'll literally put my stop at the last like wick. Yep. So I'll save myself some money if it does break structure to the upside again. That's what I'll do. Yeah. Yep, that's what I'll do. It's retracing a lot. It's going slow. That's summer months for you. That's summer month. Summer months price action. Yes, remaining below midnight open here. Don't want to come back up. Let's see another down close candle. There we go, down close candle. Okay. Oh my god. Adding there. Now I have my full position size on. That's all I'm gonna do. What time is it? Not 11 yet, that's good. Oh my lord, this price action is funny. Drop. Everybody drop. Oh my god. You ever feel like they're watching you? I gotta make this better. This market literally hates me. It feels that way. It hates me. It hates me. It doesn't want to drop when I'm in the position. It just likes to consolidate. I'd like yes to get back below, like, honestly, all of this shit. This is out sell side here. Is it not? 9:30 open's good. For NASDAQ, I'm thinking this is first sell side. It's just like the next obvious swing low. Alright, please just continue dropping. Please. I don't want to wick. Okay, that's good. Very nice, very nice. Finally, finally. Oh! We're getting some nice action. Finally. Don't jinx it, Tanya. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. We're below midnight open. Drop, 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 drop. So this 5 minute comes up to here, like it's not good anymore, so I'm doing my stop. Like that. The open 220, to be honest. We shouldn't have dropped. Like that's literally what started the draw. So shouldn't even get back to there. Drop, 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 drop. That's good. Below. It's holding, it's holding. Come on. Least emotional trader. What's this low? 153. I said I was tempted to even just add like sell stop into there. I'm not gonna be taking partials here. Straight up, I'm not gonna do it. How long I waited in this freaking chop. We're rejecting midnight open again, so that's good. It's 10:44. Gotta watch the hourly here. Okay. Damn, ES on the hourly, on the 4 hour. I didn't even notice that too much. Okay. Bro, how long does it have to do this for? Seriously. Anyway, hit the like button. You guys watch me go long, stop fast, flip short. Now this is working out for now.
Table of contents. 2. Table of Contents Part 1, Losing Correctly. 3. The Point. 7. Process to Success. 13. Part 2, Technical Matters. 16. How to Lose My Way Winning. 25. Part 1, Losing Correctly. You must become an expert in keeping your capital. It is stated, 80+% of the participants lose all their money in trading. We want to know what they do incorrectly, so we can do the opposite. More precisely, we want to know how they think. It is their untrained thinking that keeps them in that 80% group. We find out what they think by seeing what they do. You have two paths to choose from starting on your trading journey. One sign path is labeled, "Follow me to the big new money." It is a wide path. The other is labeled, "Follow me just to keep your old little money." It is a narrow path. This path sign doesn't sound so exciting. Most likely you came to this money opportunity because of the first sign. Obviously to make money. It is the broad path that nearly everyone enters on, including me. However, it is the path that leads to destruction. At least to financial distress with 80% of the participants. So, we are going to start immediately by changing paths. If you resist to change to the narrow path, you will only frustrate yourself and everyone who loves you. The broad path that is labeled to the big money is part of the great lie. So, start telling everyone you know that you got into trading. Follow me to the big new money. Follow me just to keep your old little money. To learn how to lose correctly. The money is at the other end of this path. I trained my brain on how to lose correctly. It was immediate that my trading results changed for the best. Losing and everything about losing is perhaps 95% of the problem with traders. The obvious is, lose your cash and you can't play anymore. You are only invited to participate if you have cash. If you can't reformat your thinking about losing, that means learning to lose correctly, then you might as well quit now. At least you will still have starting cash. Losing is perhaps the most important part and definitely the most painful part of the trading process. Of the two outcomes from engaging a trade, which results as either a win or a loss, the loss is the natural problem. If someone does not get to the proper understanding of losing correctly, the pain is devastating. Who likes to lose? We like to lose. There are two facets of losing. The knowledge of losing and the action taken that means you accept the loss. Losing.
I'm not gonna have patience for a market that moves this way, so. Tried.
You have to go through the actual corridor of losing. However, if you get prepared to go through the corridor of the modified mental attributes, then you have a good probability of
Tried NASDAQ.
As it goes, apparently only 5 to 20% of the people make it. I say it is because they did not fully address this losing aspect as number one priority up front, and therefore they get entangled and just can't overcome. It is like one of those traps that once you get in and start jerking around, it only gets worse. Every person with common sense understands the premise of being prepared. We are going to retrain and reformat what you think about losing so you know what to do when you are lured into the trap. And since trading is full of traps, you might as well be fully prepared. The 80% simply are not prepared. Matter of fact, the first trap is set with an invitation to start trading. Since we know driving a car can be deadly, we insist that everyone pass some competency test. The people who are supposedly there to protect traders obviously know that 80% lose their cash. So why not have everyone pass some competency test before they enter the trading or investing game? I think it is because the 20% set the rules. Retrain and reformat. I have trained my brain to understand the proper purpose for losing and the awesome benefits of embracing the action of losing. We have been programmed our whole life with the idea that losing is bad and we don't want to lose at all. Some people actually hate losing. Don't ever think you will survive, unless you fully understand and embrace the actions of agreeing with a losing position. What does it mean to lose
And make sure
correctly?
you guys understand how to
Don't
use
waste your mental
scalping,
energy trying not losing at all.
Fluffy.
You simply have to lose at times with trading.
Yeah.
It will happen regularly. There are 3 directions in trading. You have to change your view of this understanding right now. This losing is really like paying your fee to change from one direction to the other. You have to pay to change lanes. The longer you stay on a lane, the more it will either make you or cost you. While attempting to reformat my thinking about losing, one of the first things I noticed was that certain terms invoked problems or responses that negatively had an effect on me. This leads us to our first step up, flat down. Number 1, start to rename terms to help your brain to engage and act correctly with the purpose of the term. For example, the industry says, cut your losses short. When I am mentally dealing with the actions needed to cut a losing trade, I realized that the whole phrase of terms affected me negatively. I knew that if I changed the mental discourse to dispose of a losing trade, it helped. Then I changed my vocabulary to speak in terms of a bad trade. And then, it was, I need to realign my trade. Currently it is, time to realign my position. The term realign serves me well. First, it doesn't invoke my ego. Secondly, it doesn't feel painful. I moved the whole issue from that fear and pain region of my brain. This is part of the process to success. The new terms make it easier for me to embrace the corrective action that I need to take. It is like anything that needs to be realigned, it is so easy to embrace realigning this or that. As a person with common sense, I also realize that the sooner I realign my position to be in harmony with the movement masters, the quicker my account starts increasing in cash. Question: what ultimately is being realigned? You will be an uncomfortable trader until you get this whole thing about losing completely realigned in you. Do you like to be someone who has a heads up? You can start to understand that you need to think about this component, because I have now given you the heads up. Like with files on your computer, I suggest you make a new file. Name as you will. Then you will practice using it. Once you know how to access this process file and it makes proper sense, then you will have the most devastating part of this endeavor managed. We want to have a real solid grasp on this before the real trading starts, before we enter the corridor of what? The corridor of losing. Now, with that said, it seems that this new understanding about losing is not solidified until a real event takes place that calls upon this new thinking paradigm. Once I became a very happy realignment specialist, the whole trading endeavor exploded. I suggest that you take the offensive position on discovering and mastering everything about losing correctly. Please get yourself excited about hanging out in the camp of those who know how to lose correctly, or more effectively stated, as those who are masters of realigning their positions. This portion of the trading process gets 90% of my attention even to this day. For you to master this, we will be finding and replacing your personal weakness, yes. Now let's take a break on losing mental matters and look at some technical how to. But remember, your home base camp is to master all things about losing. Excuse me, I mean all things about realigning. Part 2, technical matters. All the information we need to trade correctly comes only from the technical matters. Charts. Nowhere else. Did I say that clearly enough? Let me say it one more time. All the information we need to trade correctly comes only from the charts. Now it is obvious you need proper information about the item you are trading. Whether it is a stock, an option, currency, or futures. The information we need is to answer a set of big questions. Perhaps you might want to think of it as a two-piece puzzle relating to this whole endeavor of trading. What are the big questions in trading? If you know the answer to these questions, you hold the key to trading. Identify what the two pieces of the trading puzzle are. 1. When is an optimal time to? And 2. When is an optimal time to? Once these answers are defined and executed, the rest is history. We will use the charts to tell us the answers and nothing else. Did I state that clearly enough? Charts. HTTP URL HTTP URL. HTTP URL. Look at a chart for examples. Understanding the concept of losing or realigning. Let's invest some time on researching cognitive bias and loss aversion. Click the following links: cognitive biases. HTTP URL. HTTP URL. Loss aversion. HTTP URL. Trading has many sets of two components. One is your thinking paradigm, which generates your action response. We will learn to think differently, which involves seeing things in correct context, which should allow us to act correctly. Trading is simple when you understand the components and have a handle on them. The trading components: your thinking or your actions, losing or winning, fearful or confident, psychological or technical, patience or eagerness, buying or selling, engaging or disengaging. Keeping your capital. It is absolutely critical that you make this your first priority. This principle of learning all the aspects of how you might lose your capital and all the best tactics in preserving your trading capital are to be learned first before you ever expect to be a profitable trader. To keep your capital means several things. 1. Keeping your capital is acknowledging that you will lose or offer up, or give away, or whatever you want to call it, some capital at times throughout the trading process. There will be trades that you have to release some capital in order to get out of the trade. You acknowledge that offering up some cash is a powerful force that eliminates the market's ability to take all your cash. You will do this in order to purposely preserve most of your capital. Every time a trade starts to move against you, you will be faced with this crucial situation. You now have a decision to make. Do I just wait and see if it will turn around, or do I decide to release the trade, which means giving up some cash? This situation will happen all the time. Actually, this is the main event that you will be faced with over and over. It is what happens all the time. This is why you will have a clear understanding of what you will decide when this circumstance presents itself. This is the single most repeated dilemma you will be presented. I say it is dilemma if you don't know what to do. It is an opportunity if you do know what to do. What is trading in a nutshell? Changing your position as often as needed to stay in sync with the direction of the instrument you are trading. Asking it another way, what is the main task of the trader? Stay in harmony with the direction. That's it. 2. Understanding that losing some capital is like paying your way out of trouble. Mastering the timing of when to offer some cash is a monumental step to taking yourself out of the 80% group. Perhaps you might like to see it this way: being able to offer some of your capital correctly, in order to realign your position, is a sign of someone who is in control of their trading process. The market decides the direction. Period. The market decides when to change the direction. Period. What do you get to decide? You will either have trades that you are receiving money or trades that you are offering money. The dynamics of money flowing towards you or away from you is constant. When you have a live open position, you will have to learn to be comfortable with this to and from cycle. You will become familiar with this through simulated trading first. Completely embracing the losing or offering of cash to realign your positions does not mean you will not lose any capital. It does not mean you will not have losing trades. It absolutely means you will lose or offer some capital, but under your parameters. You will learn to offer correctly in order to not be forced to offer all your capital. Learning how to lose correctly includes why to lose, and where to best lose. It is perhaps better to say and think of sacrificing or offering capital. And while in the receiving mode, you are increasing capital. The term losing is harsh on most people's mindsets. So, you will take all necessary time to understand this losing or decreasing capital component while being a trader. It is perhaps the single most profound component that the 80% don't embrace. When I am faced with a trade that is not producing, it is costing me something, either money or time, what do you think I should do with the position? How to lose my way to winning? Here are some helpful hints, some things I always know before I actually trade something. Study the movement of the instrument thoroughly before trading it. Learn its parameters. Its personality. Knowing the average range, dollar amount, the instrument can move during the day. Knowing the range, dollar amount, it can move during a single 3 to 5 minutes bar. The speed in which it changes directions. Knowing the current resolve of direction of the different time frames. Monthly time frame down to my time frame. What the dollar amount is within my loss acceptance. So, I know how many shares to put on the trade. That I am fully prepared to close the trade unless it is a producer. I know how much time I will allow for it to produce or it is closed out. First and foremost, if you expect each new trade to be a loser, a thief, it's wrong unless proven correct. Then you will have the mindset to be ready to terminate the position. It is no surprise to me that I am going to close a trade with a small cost. By default, that is what I expect. New way of saying this could be ready to realign the position, if the word terminate affects you negatively. So, by default, I am ready to realign the position. To know that it is correct behavior to realign a trade is monumental in itself. Matter of fact, that is my default mindset. I want to terminate a trade. I want to terminate the trade at the correct time. This correct time is built into my parameters for trading. My template identifies the correct time to terminate. I don't need a reason to close the trade. Let me say that again, I don't need a reason to close the trade. Asterisk, but I do have to have a valid reason to keep a trade active. Asterisk questions. Now this might be getting confusing, because I am confusing myself. I am trying to slightly confuse you in order for you to have to think hard about this concept. Let's look at the two words I am throwing around right now. Terminate and realign. The word terminate looks only to its end. Terminate, stop or close the trade. If that is your thinking, you think you are done. But the word realign suggests another step or at least hints to a continuation. Trading should become a fluid of sorts. You have multiple continuous actions you are taking. One thing the charts don't broadcast is if the next move is going to be the big move. That is why we take the correct signal to change directions when the market indicates to us that it is changing directions. Does the market in any way indicate to us that this new direction is going to be a long-lasting one? I say sometimes. Remind me to discuss this. Most traders see opening a trade and at what is the only valid reason to keep a trade active? What and how many reasons do I need to close a trade? What is a potential problem with the word terminate? Some point closing the trade as the whole process. It took me a long time to realize that my action of buying and selling or opening and closing trades were to be continuous until I was in proper alignment with the movement of the instrument being traded. Most of the time now I enter correctly and exit correctly on trades, and when I have time, I enter again for a new trade. Why do I enter again? Because A. I am ready to terminate the trade if I am wrong. B. If the trade proves me correct, then my account is increasing in cash. When you grow in confidence, you will be able to move fluidly and continuously with the trading process. However, first is to learn how to accept closing a non-producer or thief trade. Learn to close, terminate, a bad trade. As a mature trader, I now realize that when I am losing on a trade, it is simply because it is not in harmony with the direction that the market direction masters are moving the item. Losing is the Achilles heel to the unlearned trader. Invest as much time as needed until you fully accept how losing works in this arena. You master your way to success by mastering your ability to use losing to your exclusive advantage. If no one can defeat you with the power of losing, then they are powerless over you. Guidelines. A. You must and will have your exit plans in place, your precise reason for closing your trade. What is your reason or reasons going to be for closing a trade? I need to hear you speak it now. A person should have a checklist of necessary items to be in place. Also listed, is a checklist of correct thinking parameters. This list is to be evidenced before the first real trade is taken. By having this document in place, you are already doing what the 80% don't do. B is the place you will close the trade at a price point or some other point. Many people use price points to determine the spot to close a trade. For example, on a winning trade, if you thought that you wanted to make $500 and then the price was at the point and you are up $500, then you would close the trade. On a losing trade, if you are willing to lose $265, and then the price is at that spot where you are down $265, then you would close the trade. I used to trade that way. I no longer think it is correct. At least for me. I prefer to not be regulated by prices. Meaning, if I am up so many dollars, I am closing the trade. Or if I am down so many dollars, then I am closing the trade. Being regulated by dollars affects me negatively. Who says my dollar amount is correct on either the winning amount or the losing amount? Most people, including me, have issues with dollar amounts. So now I choose to let the move dictate the distance of the trade. It is a true reading. By letting the chart or by having a correct spot to direct me as to what to do, I am agreeing to be in harmony with the move, for as long as the move wants. If the move wants to provide me with a $3,000 move, why would I be trying to limit it at $500? See, if you are new to trading, see if this next statement sounds correct or incorrect. You will have your stop entered at your brokerage account. This is advisable over a mental stop, until you have proven that you are disciplined. You will trade a small position, 25 to 75 shares, because you expect it to be a loser, a thief that you're going to terminate. The use of stops sounds so logical and something all smart people would do. Of course, I don't use stops because I have complete control over what I am doing and allowing with each trade. I know I can behave correctly. When I first started, I couldn't and didn't have the discipline to trade correctly. I bought into the deception that using stops was all to benefit me. It was a two-edged sword. D. Stay in the same time frame that you have decided to trade. E. Once you do have a profitable trade, do not, I repeat, ask most people and they would default to the thinking of taking the dollars, or using dollar amounts to make their decisions. Keep in mind, you can do whatever you want. But remember, if you continue to think like the 80% do, then you will probably end up with the same 80% results. Do not allow your profitable trade become a loser. This is a paramount point that stupid traders violate all the time. After all the years I have been trading, I still occasionally let this happen. It is amazing. See if this next statement sounds correct or incorrect. F. Base your trade from a loss point of view. X. If your exit plan, your keep your cash plan, your hit the door fast plan, is that you will risk $100 or $500 per trade, then you only put on a trade that has that logical reference point. That statement is also both correct and partially misleading. Once you open a trade, you are immediately exposed to risk, and at that point the trade could start to move against you. That is where you would have an X amount of money that the trade could move against you and you would fold. That amount of money should also correlate to a logical point on the chart that also helps you realize that the direction is really not going in the direction you placed your trade. G. Another very important factor is time allotment. Time allotment is a criteria-based rule that should be applied to each trade. Most traders simply don't realize that this is an indication of risk. Let's say you open a trade and it is not going against you. Most would just keep the trade open and be expecting that it will at some time start in the direction you place the trade. A position that is not losing you money, but is not producing income, or in other words, is not moving in the direction that you place the trade, is as bad as one losing you money. When is the lowest risk present with an open trade? In other words, it is at the lowest risk of loss when it is moving in the direction that you have the trade opened and it is moving in that direction. If I have opened a position to go up and it is not steadily moving in the up direction, I will close the trade. Let me state it again and perhaps in slightly different way. I don't need a reason to close the trade. I want to close the trade by design. I open a trade, I want to close a trade. Period. If you grasp the planned actions that I take, then you might ask what conditions must be present for you to keep a trade open? I only need one reason to close a trade. What is it? Study the manipulators, know their behavior before you trade them. Show a gap and how devastating it can be. That is why you will only have trades open that you can literally see. Do not put on a trade based on your envisioned profit. Trading is a competition over losses. You must participate at the point that presents the greatest potential for a loss to someone else. Where is that point? This also has to be the same point that identifies quickly if you are the loser. Become a master of handling the losses, and understand that it is one of the secrets to lasting in the game of trading. The person who thinks about, plans and implements all the best strategies on preserving his trading capital will be years ahead of the masses. You must serve your apprenticeship before you earn consistently. Changing your behavior is first before you make real trades. Agree with your adversary quickly. Prove all things, hold fast to that which is good. Listen, follow, live. Only those who do the will of the Father will enter the kingdom of God. Not my will, but thy will be done. Identify the changing of the guard, and then you must, repeat you must 3 types of trades, thief, non-producer, and producer. Participate with that changing. How long will a move go in the current direction? Don't know, don't care, is the correct thinking. Your only correct action is to be in harmony with the move. How do you stay in harmony with the move? What is the purpose of trading? Why was trading created? To get your cash out of the bank and into someone else's pocket. How do they do that? They simply stimulate your senses with greed. What is the mechanism they use? They simply employ change. Change the direction. It's simply a direction game. It is about creating transactions. Remember, it is a create the loss game. Draw 3 trades. LOC lot at a glance. Monthly, weekly, daily, 40 minutes, 6 to 1 minutes. Basic start. 1 rule: determine time frame and stock you're comfortable trading in. Both of these come after much time is invested in viewing them. Learn their personality. Speed of moves, range capacity, volume, bid/ask spreads, etc.
Order filled.
2 rules: stay in this time frame only while trade is active. Only use this time frame for signals. Your LOC. 3 rule: once a trade is profitable, only let correct signal determine when to exit. What is that signal? The LOC change or a steep burst, either straight up or straight down. 4 goal is to have a trading plan that first, quickly identifies thieves. You must develop discipline to immediately terminate these. By default, you have a thief trade. 2 ND. Ensure that you are in position to participate with big move. 5 rule: always terminate a profitable trade that comes back to even. Never let it go past your entry point. This scenario means you did not get change your thinking at the LOC. 6 rule: only keep a producer active. Think about this. 7 rule: only enter trade at lowest risk point. You must have your qualifier that identifies this for you. Make sheet with 3 types of trades. T, NP, P. No control, learn to be the fast, small loser, constantly on lookout to realign. What kills the driver? Not stopping at the stop signs or at the crossroads. What kills the trader? Not changing at the LOC. Offensive/defensive pants: keep my pants. Do what a loser does when losing, when you have a profitable trade. What does a loser do when they have a losing trade? They do nothing except wait for the trade to come back to even. Sometimes it does, they are happy. Sometimes it doesn't. That is when they lose all